Hi, this is Laura Gathers of Love Heart and Marriage Coaching. First, I want to thank you for clicking on this video. What that tells me is that you are intentional about the growth of your marriage. Today, we are going to learn what a marriage maintenance plan is, as well as how to create one. If you have been following me for a while, you know the importance of a marital mission statement. You know that it is the document that tells us our place of agreement. It tells us where we are desiring to grow as a couple and what we're trying to accomplish as we grow. Then there's the vision statement. That vision statement tells us what our world will look like if we accomplish our mission. Then we create our goals and our action steps, and then we evaluate. And after we've done all of that, and hopefully you've done all of that, if not, let me know so that we can set up and schedule some time for us to go over that marital mission statement and those documents that I just spoke about. But after all that's said and done, then we move into this next phase, which is your marriage maintenance plan. And this plan, I believe, is so essential to the growth of your marriage. What this marriage maintenance plan does is it gives you an opportunity to evaluate how the previous year went. What were the goals you set as a couple? What steps did you take to try and accomplish those goals? And were you successful in your ability to do so? Did you successfully accomplish those things? And if not, let's talk about why. Sit down and think about why. Did you overreach? Did you create SMART goals? Were they attainable? Were they time specific? Or did you just say, hey, let's just give this a try? So understand why you were not able to accomplish the goals that you set out to accomplish. And if you were, then talk about how you were able to do it, because those are some best practices that you want to continue to keep in place, right? Those are systems, those are structures, those are things that you have established as a couple that worked for you. So we want to make sure that those things are readily available in this upcoming year. After you have done that, I want you to go back and I want you to do a SWOT analysis. Some people call it SWOT analysis. I call it strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and challenges, okay? Instead of threats, I use challenges. So I want you to look at what were your strengths as an individual and as a couple. What strengths do you bring to the table? What are your weaknesses? What areas do you need to grow in? What are your opportunities? How can you grow? What are there some investments, or is this a great time for you to sell a home or rental home or your current home? Like, what are some opportunities for you as a couple? Can you go on a vacation this year that you've always dreamed of? Can you invest in another couple? What are the opportunities that you have? And then what are some of the challenges? Some things that are preventing you from being able to do some things that you desire to do. And if you need more information on that, feel free to email me, but do that analysis, because that analysis is the next step in helping you create this marriage maintenance plan. So after you've done that analysis, after you've done your evaluation, then you go into maintenance mode. What are we going to do to ensure that our marriage is continuing to grow, continuing to flourish, continuing to accomplish the goals that we set for it? And this is how you do that. You go back to your mission. You look at where you are currently. You look at what worked, what didn't work. You look at your SWOT analysis and you say, okay, this is what we both see. Now this is what we can apply to our relationship. So maybe if you were all about savings last year, maybe you saved enough now and you're able to make some investments. So are you going to invest in businesses? Are you going to invest in your community? What investments do you want to make? So look at those things and then work through them and set some goals into place. One thing I want you to do is to not overdo it. Set one goal, two goals, maybe three, but don't overdo it. And if you need to, in 6 months, go back and set some more goals because you knocked it out the park, great. But don't overwhelm yourself trying to do things that just so you can have some things to do, right? We don't want to do that. We want to set some goals in place that are achievable, that we have the time to do, or that we have time to put towards achieving them. That's what we want to make sure that we're doing. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And then after that, I want you to sit down and plan your family meetings, put them on the calendar. They are high priority. This is where you come in and you talk about what's working, what's not working. This is where you talk about the next steps that you want to take as a couple. This is where you are able to have a conversation about your relationship. Those family meetings are essential. Put them on your calendar. And then I want you to put down your date nights or your time to connect together, whether that's sitting and watching your favorite TV sitcoms, whether that's going on a date, whether that's playing board games, whatever it is that you do as a couple that you enjoy doing together as downtime, as connecting time, then put that on the calendar. These things are non-negotiable. These dates cannot be changed unless there is an absolute emergency. Then you are able to take those dates off the calendar. If not, they stay there, because we want to be intentional about our time of connecting and growing as a couple. And that's the only way we can do it, is if we put those things on the calendar and we leave them there. We actually do it. And if you all are overachievers, maybe even create an agenda for your family meeting to ensure that you're talking about what's important to each one of you, right? So what's important to you? What's important to your spouse? What updates do you need? Like, write those things out. You know what? I'll add an additional worksheet on what you possibly can discuss during your family meetings. But I think it's important that we get intentional about the time that we're spending together as a couple. We get intentional about the areas that we're growing in as a couple, that we get intentional about connecting and accomplishing the mission that God has for us as a couple. We have all these wonderful ideas and visions and plans for ourselves, and those are great. I am not saying anything is wrong with that, because you are an individual. But I want to make sure that that individuality is not overshining or outshining who we are as a couple. It should enhance who we are as a couple, right? I want you to also consider how you're going to invest in your marriage. Are you reading books together? Are you doing Bible studies together? Are you going on vacations? Are you going to conferences and workshops? Shameless plug, Love Harder has some amazing workshops, and Love Harder Ministries is going to have some amazing opportunities for you all as couples, right? So I want you to connect with Love Harder. I'm going to connect you with other couples and other marriage advocates and relationship coaches, because we all have something different to bring to the table. So make sure that you are intentional, whether it's a quarterly, biannually, whatever it is that you're going to do to ensure that you are investing in your marriage. Make sure you do that. Is it time for you to go to some marriage counseling? Are there some underlying issues that you can't seem to resolve on your own? Do you need a marriage coach? Do you need a marriage counselor? Do you need a financial counselor? Like, what is it that your marriage needs? And be willing to make the investment in your marriage, okay? But most importantly, I want you to really talk about your successes, your wins for 2021. Like, get excited about what you were able to do, because that is going to fuel what you will do in the future. All right. Thank you all for tuning in. Continue to invest in your relationship, continue to invest in each other, and continue to invest in yourself as an individual. Thank you all. Have a good day.